Good day, everyone. Our research is all about the service quality standard and customer satisfaction on Amaya View Deck. Our group members are Manga Eden Christine Joy, Oponda Jessa Jane, Rosalejos Olen Rose, Makalam Princess Grace, and Lumolho Brittany. Tourism industry has been one of the industries deeply affected by pandemic and crisis. In addition, the tourism industry predominantly contributes to the spread of the virus. The movement of people by means of air travel absorbs the risk of the spread of viruses at a much faster pace than normal. Thus, tourism is both a catalytic agent for the spread of viruses and a victim of the spread. Conceptual framework. We have independent variable, reliability, assurance, tangibles, empathy, and responsiveness. While in the dependent variable, we have service expectation, service performance, received service quality, and customer satisfaction. Statement of the problem. 1. What are the profiles of the participants in terms of the following? First, we have the age. Second, gender. Third, course. Fourth, year level. And fifth, frequency of visit. And what is the level of service quality standard of Amaya View Deck? Theme park in terms of tangibility, reliability, responsiveness, assurance, and empathy. Third, what is the participants' level of customer satisfaction? Fourth, is there a significant relationship between the customer satisfaction and demographic profile, service quality standard? And fifth, which of the variables significantly influence customer satisfaction? Research methodology.
Statistical treatment. The data gathered will be submitted to the following statistical treatment. Frequency and percentage to describe the profile of the participant. Mean and standard deviation will determine the entire response distribution of the participant, especially their response in terms of their level of service quality standard and level satisfaction. The following are the parameters limit. Parameters of limit of level of service quality. Parameters of limit 1.00 to 1.49, and the response categories strongly disagree and the interpretation is very poor. And the next one is parameter of limit of level satisfaction. Parameter of limit is 1.00 to 1.49, and the response categories is dissatisfied and the interpretation is very poor. Person-product moment correlation will determine the relationship between customer satisfaction to demographic profile and service quality standard by mean of the person.
And the next one is result and findings. Table 1. Respondents' demographic profile in terms of age. Table 1 reflects the result among 60 respondents of the second part of the survey questionnaire in terms of their age. It showed that 45% or 27 out of 60 respondents were 20 to 21 years of age, 26 out of 60 or 43.3% were 22 to 23 years old, and only 7 out of 60 or 11.7% of the respondents were 18 to 19 years old. It was evident that majority of the respondents were around the ages of 20 and 21 years. Table 2. Respondents' demographic profile in terms of gender. It reflects the result among 60 respondents in the second part of the survey questionnaire in terms of their gender. There were 45 out of 60 respondents or 75% that were female, and 15 out of 60 or 15% of the respondents were male. It is evident that the majority of the respondents in the second part of the survey was female. The majority of the enrolled students in Bachelor of Science in Tourism Management and Bachelor of Science in Hospitality Management are female, which explains the respondents' ratio. Table 3 respondents' demographic profile in terms of course. It shows the demographic profile of 60 participants in terms of their course. 60.2% or 124 respondents were from Bachelor of Science in Tourism Management, and 39.8% or 82 respondents were from Bachelor of Science in Hospitality Management. It is evident that majority of the respondents were from Bachelor of Science in Tourism Management. Table 4 respondents' demographic profile in terms of year level. It shows the demographic profile of the respondents in terms of their year level. Out of 60 respondents, 30 or 50% were from the fourth year level, 21 or 35% were from the third year level, 7 or 11.7% were from the second year level, and 2 or 3.3% were from the first year level. It is evident that half of the respondents were from the fourth year level, with followed by 21 respondents from the fourth year level. This is because majority of the students from these year levels were the only one who agreed to partake in our data gathering process. Table 5 respondents' demographic profile in terms of frequency of visit. It was revealed in Table 5 that out of 60 respondents, 32 or 53.3% of the total number of respondents visited the establishments once. 24 or 40% of the respondents visited the establishment twice. 3 or 5% of the respondents visited the establishment thrice. And 1 or 1.7% of the respondents visited the establishment 4 times or more during this pandemic. This implies that more than half of the respondents has visited the establishment once. It is also depicted that other half of the respondents mostly has visited the establishment twice during this pandemic. Table 6 Service Quality Standard in terms of tangibility and its equivalent interpretation. As indicated in Table 6, the mean and standard deviation values for tangibility are calculated. According to the data, the customer rated agree with a mean of 4.32 in the indicators of there is a digital thermal scanner and disinfecting space at the entrance. Agree with the mean of 4.30 for the overall areas is clean and free from unnecessary garbage and dirt. Personnel and staff of the establishment are dressed well, and personnel and staff wear the proper PPE like face mask and face shield. Agree with a mean of 4.17 for the hands-free devices are installed, motion sensors lights, contactless payment systems, automatic soap, and paper towel dispenser. There is a designated entrance and separate exit to help maintain physical distancing, and parking, entrance and exit areas are marked, monitored, and configured to allow for physical distancing and no crowding or congregating. Participants rated the Amaya View Deck and Theme Park as having good degree of service quality in terms of tangibility with an aggregate mean of 4.20.
Table 7 Service Quality Standard in terms of reliability and its equivalent interpretation. Table 7 shows the equivalent interpretation of the data in terms of the reliability of the service quality. The overall average of the variable reliability is 4.22, which is interpreted as good based on the parameters of limit of level of service quality standard. The rest of the questions under this variable scored good, which is conclusive that the reliability of Amaya View Deck Theme Park is good enough to cater the customer's needs. Table 8 Service Quality Standard in terms of responsiveness and its equivalent interpretation. As seen in Table 8, all except one question under responsiveness scored a good interpretation. The only question that scored average is related to closing of an area wherein an alleged sick person has already used. According to Ismael et al. 2016, solving, good service, scheduling, and performance were the characteristics utilized to assess reliability. When it comes to sanitation services, responsiveness is described as the sanitation service provider's availability, promptness, sincerity, and consistency. Table 9 Service Quality Standard in terms of empathy and its equivalent interpretation. evident based on the results and interpretation on Table 9 that the establishment garnered a good remark in terms of the empathy that they show to their customers. It is noted in the study of Ye et al. 2017 that service, empathy, and responsiveness have a long-term influence on customer happiness and profitability. Table 10. Service quality standard in terms of assurance and its equivalent interpretation. Evident based on the results and interpretation on Table 10 that the establishment garnered an overall good remark in terms of the assurance that they provide to their customers. Is one factor that a business owner should take note in order to obtain optimal customer satisfaction is to also assess the well-being of the employees, since they are most likely the ones who will create an image for the business. A study by Sutherland 2020 examines during the 2020 corona pandemic revealed that employees who broke the rules were viewed as being less pleasant, less competent, more disgusted, and more dehumanized. Table 11. Overall individual variable customer satisfaction level frequencies results. Table 11 shows the mean and standard deviation results of the respondents' overall customer satisfaction in each variable. Assurance has garnered the highest mean score with 4.18, followed by tangibility with 4.15, which is then followed by responsiveness with a score of 4.08. which is then followed by empathy with a score of 4.05. And then reliability comes last with a mean score of 4.02. With an overall mean of 4.09, it implies that the participants are very satisfied with the service standard delivery of Amaya View Deck theme park. Table 12. Correlation of level of satisfaction and demographic profile and service quality standard.
Table 12 shows there is a relationship between gender, responsiveness, assurance, and customer satisfaction. The researchers found out that open parentheses R equals negative 0.259 P greater than 0.050 close parentheses and open parentheses R equals 0.301 P less than 0.050 close parentheses and open parentheses R equals 0.321 P less than 0.050 close parentheses respectively, and that concludes there is a weak significant correlation between these variables, meaning that as is these independent variables, gender, responsiveness, and assurance increases the associated dependent variable, the customer satisfaction decreases. As for the stress of connection to customer satisfaction with open parentheses R equals 0.440 P greater than 0.001 close parentheses and open parentheses R equals 0.374 P greater than 0.001 close parentheses and open parentheses R equals 0.342 P greater than 0.001 close parentheses, there is a positive weak to moderate significant correlation between these variables, meaning as the independent variable, the tangibility, reliability, and empathy increases, the associated dependent variable, customer satisfaction, increases. Conclusion and recommendation.
Conclusion. The overall level of satisfaction results show that incorporating assurance in the giving service to customers is essential and is appreciated by the customer base. The establishment scored lowest in terms of their reliability. Knowing what's best and what works for your business is a must-know to improve better for you and your customer sake.
Customer satisfaction has been regarded as the essential tool for improving successful tourism competitiveness, especially in the globalization conditions.
In line with the findings of this study, the researchers may recommend to the Amaya ViewDeck and Theme Park to consider evaluating their services and strategies, especially in terms of reliability and empathy. This has something to do with providing adequate help and
Promise accurately and genuine care and attention given to all customers.